So specifically on the project with Canadian Council of Directors of Apprenticeship. So it started out with the issue, and we kind of all talked about it today, but knowing that low essential skills is really a barrier to successful completion of apprentices in-class training and on-the-job success. And we've also heard that research has shown that even small investments in essential skills upgrading can really help to increase completion rates, pass rates, and job success. And so from there, in 2005 in the federal budget, their funding for an essential skills and apprenticeship initiative was announced. And this was under the Trades and Apprenticeship Strategy. And shortly after, a working group was formed, and this includes representatives from a variety of provinces, all appointed by the CCDA. And within that working group, it also includes representatives from HRSDC, more specifically the Office of Literacy and Essential Skills, as well as our Trades and Apprenticeship Division. And this partnership has been really fantastic in that it enables federal and provincial and territorial governments to work together to improve the apprenticeship systems across Canada. So ultimately, we're all trying to improve the system nationwide. So early on in the process, the working group decided that a framework was needed to help identify common contact points where essential skills activities could be incorporated into all the existing apprenticeship processes. So these contact points would be their entry into technical training, in the workplace, for example. The working group also identified that consistent messaging was needed and that practical resources would help support the provincial and territorial efforts. And this led to the development of a series of tools specifically to help apprentices and tradespeople across all jurisdictions. To date, the working group has developed 27 essential skills tools specifically for the skilled trades. And there's actually an additional 7 to be completed by March 31st. And these tools are grouped into 3 areas that we like to call inform, assess, support. So what you would expect to find in an inform tool would be a bit of description about how these skills are actually used in the trades. So for example, we've got tools that kind of talk about a day in the life of a plumber or a cook. And then it would explain how they use reading, document use, numeracy within their trade. And then also provide some examples of math questions or things that they have to calculate. For example, like a cook has to maybe double a recipe and the math that's required to do that. An assess tool is really just used not as a formal assessment, but more as just to provide a better understanding of where their skill needs, their strengths, and where they may have areas that they need improvement. So it's not in any way any type of formal assessment, just really to give them a sense of their skills and help them to understand where they should proceed. And a support tool is really about improving their essential skills. And so, for example, we provided some materials in the back of our trades math workbook. While we know that math is critical in the trades, this workbook provides examples of how to calculate fractions and determine the volume and area of a shape. And so within that workbook, it provides tips and formulas to help them practice these equations.